There are only 3 things that are guaranteed in this life: death, taxes, and video game delays. You probably don't even need the introduction, but just like your dad beating you with a belt for no reason, I'm going to give it to you anyways. We all know that trailer.
Wake up in the morning to the clear blue sky. Turn up the music.
The iconic trailer of the biggest Chad of all time running down the streets of LA listening to a banger song, all while the city goes to hell behind him. Now that I look at it, the trailer almost demonstrates just how bad the development of Dead Island 2 really was. I could only imagine that the city is exactly how the studio felt making this project. Or maybe the second studio, or even the third, or the fourth. You see, Dead Island 2 is the sequel to Dead Island. I know, shocker. But you see, Dead Island was developed by Techland, which is a studio that went on to make some of the best zombie games of all time, as in Dying Light and its respective sequel. Techland as a team poured their heart and soul into Dead Island, with it being one of their first AAA games, and they truly were the talent that made Dead Island the beautifully iconic game that it is today. So when they saw how successful the first game was, Techland, being the great team they are, wanted to innovate on the formula, but the publisher Deep Silver wanted the game to be more similar to the previous one. So with the two companies butting heads, Deep Silver took the Dead Island IP, while Techland went on to create an absolute banger game, Dying Light. With their lead talent simply being Thanos snapped out of existence right in front of them, this is where the trouble for Dead Island 2 starts. Dead Island 2 was passed on to Yager Studios, who are known for making Spec Ops: The Line. Shortly after the iconic trailer dropped at E3 2014, the team at Yager went radio silent. Now, it's not necessarily bad for a dev team to go into hiatus while working on a project, but that silence became so loud, it echoed louder than you ripping ass on the toilet while watching this video. Everyone everywhere started to turn heads at the absence of any news surrounding Dead Island 2, and before you knew it, a year has passed and it was announced that Deep Silver dropped Yager in July of 2015. The game remained in a standstill for almost another full year until being picked up by Sumo Digital, the team responsible for record-breaking sales numbers and beloved games such as Crackdown 3, Team Sonic Racing, and most recently, Sackboy Adventure 2 Battle. But just like your dad, after you were born, they left almost immediately. This brings us to the current developer of Dead Island 2, Dambuster Studios. Dambuster is responsible for Homefront: The Revolution, though they didn't see that game through start to finish. Rather, they did the same thing with Homefront that they are doing with Dead Island 2, fixing what everyone else broke. Dambuster seems to be the cleanup crew for Deep Silver, as their last few games have just been finishing a project that was in development hell. But with all of this history out of the way, we need to look at the product we are being shown now. In August of 2022, Dambuster presented Dead Island 2 to the world, and oh my god, does this game look fantastic? The more stuff I see about this game, the more I just want to love it. The trailer looked like it captured the energy from the original 2014 trailer for this game and implemented it into both gameplay and the setting. This game genuinely looks incredible, like it will be so much fun to just run through with a few friends, or even solo, by yourself because you have no friends, and you would just have the time of your life slashing away at the endless zombies in this apocalyptic paradise. From all of the previews shown, this game looks to be perfect. It has weapon modding just like the original, it has multiple explorable environments just like the original, it has guns, brutal melee weapons, looting, and everything that made Dead Island stand out in the first place. I'd like to also mention just how much of an upgrade the animations are for killing zombies, as well as the revolutionary gore mechanic. I mean, this thing's got layers, dude. From ripping apart flesh, to muscle, to fat, down to the bones, this thing doesn't cut any corners. Attention to detail is important in video games, and so is the power behind your punch. This flesh system they are using adds to the immersion and feeling behind each bit of damage you do to each individual zombie. The animations are so smooth and creative, they're looking to be so satisfying to experience hands-on. This game almost feels too good to be true. So what if it is? It's important to remember that these trailers and gameplay showcases show off the game at its best. And though I don't see many issues, the small frame stutters are enough to worry me. If this game is having stutters at its best, what is it like at its worst? Dambuster also haven't talked much on how much side content there is going to be and how many activities you could do outside of the main quest, which can leave us asking how much is there really to do in this semi-open world. Now, if modern gaming is anything to go by, then this game will probably disappoint, but I'd like to give this game the benefit of the doubt. For how much hell this game has gone through, the final product is actually looking very promising on the surface level. And after listening to a few reviews about the game, that kind of sounds like where it peaks. This game doesn't seem to have a ton of depth, but what the game offers, the game is actually really good at that, and it sounds like it'll be really enjoyable for at least one playthrough. That being said, I believe a lot of what made Dead Island so good in the first place is being able to make your own fun. Being able to use a new card system to change your playstyle might add the level of replayability to make each playthrough just feel a bit more fresh. There's so much potential on the line for this game, and it could possibly be one of the best comeback stories in gaming history. Now, to address the title of this video, yes, you absolutely should be skeptical about Dead Island 2. It looks so amazing and gory and everything a zombie game or Dead Island fan would want, but it would be wrong to put the last decade of development trouble aside. There were so many different visions for this game throughout the last 10 years that it's hard to believe that Dambuster has settled on one unified vision to create a great game. The history of this game is important. It can either show us that development hell doesn't always end in a bad product, or that some games truly are just doomed from the start. With us coming to our conclusion, I would love to hear your opinions in the comments below, and if you're excited for Dead Island 2. I know I'm excited, and I'll be picking it up on my Xbox when it releases. I'm truly hoping that the game can recapture what made the original so great. Anyways, thanks for watching, and until next time, piss off.